everyone, it's Tammy and welcome to the card series using colorful seasons. I know I've used this stamp set before and it is a really cute stamp set. This time I'm going to focus on the wintry stuff with this stamp set, and it also has a bundle with the seasonal layer thinlits, and there are some snowflakes on that I'm going to focus on too in this card series. I'm not going to use these today, but I just wanted you to know that you can get it singly or as a bundle. And I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my website is down below if you guys are interested in purchasing anything. But let's go ahead and get started. What I have first is just a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I've cut it so it's an A2 sized card. I'm just going to score it at the, I like this side better, score it to make it an A2 sized card. And then I have already used my embossing folder. Whoops, pulled off a rhinestone. Trying to put it back, yikes. Ugh. I use this embossing folder that is called Softly Falling, and it is available through Stampin' Up! As well. And I just embossed this piece of Dapper Denim cardstock. The Dapper Denim is unfortunately, it wasn't in color and it's retired now, but I love the color and I have a lot of it, so I wanted to go ahead and use it. Any color of blue would be good with this card. I think that we're going to, I'm going to use silver and blue. I think that those colors look beautiful together. I also know that they're kind of a symbol for Hanukkah, which is also cute, because this might be a card that you might either, let's say you forget to give someone a card, or you don't want to send somebody a Christmas card and you'd rather send them maybe a winter card, or one that maybe might fit their religion or their beliefs a little better. This might be a card that would fill that bill. Or if you received a card from someone and you hadn't had them on your card list, you could send them an after Christmas card. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this card series, just kind of snowflakey, wintry cards that you can send all the way through at least February here in Indiana, where it's still snowy usually then. So first thing I'm going to do is, you just need a piece of scrap paper, so I have this, and you need Versamark ink, which I didn't grab. And you also need some silver embossing powder, and yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to use the Thinking of You, and I'm going to put that on this piece of paper using the Dapper Denim, just that sentiment. So let me find that real quick. Thinking of You. So I'm just going to kind of center it, I guess, in here. I moved it over a little bit so I can do a little tab if I want to. And I'm probably going to make that a little smaller too, but for now that's good. And I'll put that over here with that silver cardstock that I have for now. And then I'm going to get out the two snowflakes. This one and this one. And using the Versamark, I'm going to stamp the snowflake haphazardly onto this piece of blue cardstock. And actually, I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to have some of them falling off the side, and some of them being full on. And you have to be really careful with the embossing part, the part that is embossed, because it needs extra care and extra, like you have to push really hard to get the ink on there. Otherwise it won't stick. Like that one I don't think stuck all the way. So that's okay. I'll work it out, but there we go. So once you have that on there, I'm going to take the smaller snowflake, and I'm just not going to put these snowflakes back on the page because I'm going to be using them for all 3 of the cards. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. And the reason I'm doing this on the back side of this piece of scrap paper is because I want to make sure that I don't get any of the silver embossing powder stuck on to the sheet. So now I'm turning it over so that when I do my embossing powder, it will stick just to the card and not to the sheet, because it sticks to where the Versamark is. It's not a big deal if you do it the other way. It's not like much would get used up, and quite frankly there's so much in here, it's a lifetime supply of embossing powder as far as I'm concerned. It'll last my lifetime probably. Ugh. I have an embossing buddy and I always forget to use it. And for those of you that might not know what that is, it's not a friend. Well, it could be a friend. It's a little, like, you know those bowlers powder that bowlers use to make sure that their hand isn't sweaty or whatever, stick to the ball. It's kind of the same thing. You use the embossing buddy on the places you don't want the embossing powder to stick. And then you don't have to try so hard like I am. You might even have a brush and you can brush off some of the excess, but that actually looks pretty good. So I'm gonna put that down, and I'm going to pick up my embossing powder and put it back in my jar. So this is very like inexpensive. It might cost, I don't know, $5 or $6 for the jar of embossing powder, but seriously, you use so little. It's just a thin layer that gets stuck to the Versamark, and then the rest of it goes back into the jar. So that's why it's a lifetime supply. I call it that. There's no guarantee. I'm just saying that I don't think I will ever use all of this. And then you need your heat gun. And I'm going to let the heat gun heat up for about 30 seconds before I put it on the card. But what it's going to do is, these are little plasticky pieces. I don't know if they're really plastic or what, but they will melt like plastic does with heat. And you put the heat gun over them and they melt and they become really shiny, and they're totally stuck onto the card. You can't wipe it off or peel it off or anything. Actually, this heat feels good on my little toesies. Okay, so here we go. The key to this is that you don't want to get your fingers underneath it because it's hot. And look at that. Look how it works. And you also don't want to hold it in a specific spot for any length of time. You want to keep it moving. And it does get hot on your fingers, so you might want to use something else to hold it down. And this is honestly one of my very favorite stamping techniques. I love embossing. I think it's so cool. Hopefully you guys are seeing that, the power of the heat gun, because look how drab it looks, and then look how fab it looks. From drab to fab. Look at that. That is so cool. I seriously love this. Okay, once you have them all done, that's it. That's all you have to do. And I think that looks fabulous. So, we're going to put this down on the front of the card like so. And then I'm going to trim this up with my paper trimmer a little bit. And this is kind of hard to do. I hate doing it with such a little amount of paper, but I'm going to try. I got it totally crooked. So now I got to try again. And then I'm going to do it to the other side too. Pretty good, pretty good. I think I like that. Okay, and I was gonna maybe cut this down a little bit, but I think I'm gonna leave it like that. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut this one so it has a little tab on it. And it's hard to see the other side, so I'm just turning it over. And then I'm gonna cut this one with a little tab as well. And I want the tabs to kind of match. So I'm just going to cut that down to the middle where I want it to be cut. And then I'm going to do the tabs like this. Now if those tabs are too angled, I can fix it, and they look like they might be. Oh, definitely. So let's yeah, that looks better. Okay. Getting rid of all this trash. And I'm going to line that up to the end, and then I think I'm going to line this one up to the end of that. I like it, I like it. And then I have a little bow here that I just happened to have, so I thought, ooh, I'm going to use that. I know that that was Stampin' Up! Ribbon. It's the 1/8 inch silver ribbon, but I don't know why I have a bow that I didn't use. I must have just had extra. You could pop dot these if you wanted to. I'm going to just try to use the snail adhesive. Sometimes it doesn't like to get stuck on the glitter though, so we'll see what happens here. Actually, this seems to stick very well. It's making a liar out of me, isn't it? And I have this bow. I also have these snowflakes that I got at Hobby Lobby. I need to put them in a Ziploc or something because the way I'm doing this doesn't quite work. There we go. Oh, it has stuff on it. Oh, maybe I kind of like that. Maybe I'll use 3 of those and the bow. Okay, so let's get glue dot out for the bow. Snowflake. Snowflake. I think I have a lifetime supply of these snowflakes too. I got them, I don't know when. It's not been this year and it wasn't last year, so it was at least the year before that. But I know that they still carry them and they're very cool. Lots of uses for them, but you get so many. 70 grams. It doesn't say how many pieces, but you get a ton. So there we go. That is the first card. Isn't that cute? I love how it turned out. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching, and this was card number 1 using Colorful Seasons. Thank you. Bye-bye.